Today I'm going to be breaking down what's next for Limbus Company based on the Up to Canto VII live stream that was done a few days ago. I'm making this video in case you haven't seen the stream and don't want to watch 1 hour of the stream, so let's get into it. So I'm not really going to talk about Murder on the Warp Train Express because that's coming out really soon. But what I will say is that the event will revolve around chain battles, just like how it was in the Fourth Refraction Railway, and after the event the floor theme will be added to the Mirror Dungeon. It was also said that this is a way to test out chain battles for the next Canto, which will most likely have chain battles. So we're going to be seeing a lot more of those, and the chain battle feature will be used in future Mirror Dungeons. Earl King Heathcliff was announced, the identity that I honestly didn't think they would announce. He's going to have two modes. It's going to be a mounted mode and a dismounted mode, so he'll have the horse that he had in the game. His gimmick will be reviving dead allies, which it's a first for Limbus Company. That seems very interesting. And his counter skill will work similarly to how it worked in Library of Arena, which just means that you will be able to clash with the counter skill instead of it activating after you get hit. The next Walpurgisnacht will be about the Noon of Violet from Lobotomy Corporation. That's the big pillar that drops down in the main rooms of each department. The two new identities, the Lobotomy Corporation identities that were announced, are Funeral of Dead Butterflies Yisung and another Red Eyes Ryoshu. Apparently she will be using two weapons. I'm not really sure what that means. If she can switch between two weapons or just her sprite will have two weapons, I guess we'll find out. Apart from the two new identities, there will be one unannounced ego and two new announcers, one from Lobotomy Corporation and one from Library of Arena. The Lobotomy Corporation one's probably going to be a solo. Two new fixer associations were announced. The Deviat Association North and the Zwei Association West. The Deviat Association specializes in transport and delivery. Their attire resembles how Ezra dresses in Distortion Detective, and the weapon that they'll be using is a Dimension Bag, just like Ezra, and it will be Rodion who gets the identity for the Deviat Association, which, I mean, makes sense. And there will be a new Bygone Days ego. For the Zwei Association West, they're night-themed, and their sword will function as a shield as well. That's why West will be getting one 3-star Sinner ID, and the Sinner who will be getting that ID is the same Sinner who is going to get the Bygone Days ego. For UI improvements, there is going to be a feature that lets you switch between the window at the start and your ticket, your manager ticket, whatever it's called. There will be a new and returning players events that'll take place a week before Canto VII and throughout Canto VII. It'll reward new players with the Season 1 IDs for completing like certain missions, for like beating Canto III, for example. And returning players will get more growth items, like XP tickets and stuff like that. For Canto VII, we don't really know much about it. It's just, he only says that they're working very hard on it and they'll try and get it done without postponing it. Also here, he circles this random wall here, and he writes dead. I was confused by that too. It's just short for deadline. He doesn't actually mean whatever he's circling is dead. I mean, obviously the next Canto will be about Don Quixote, so I don't know. We don't know much about it yet. He mentions the general plans for updates after the Canto VII update, where he says that they were going to work on making mirror dungeons more fun to run, which possibly means rewarding you with growth items. For some updates on Project Moon, we learned that they are a 45-person dev team and 7 people who work at HHPP. They said that they're not looking to hire more people, they're not looking to make the company too big, and that Project Moon has accumulated enough finance for the company to run without any income for 3 years. So Project Moon is doing fine financially. He also talked about doing more of these streams, but worries that the frequency of them may harm the game's charm and appeal, which personally I don't think that's true. If this were to become regular, he would do it in preset intervals, maybe once every quarter or every Canto. He also briefly talked about wanting to start a new game. I know Project Moon have wanted to do a Distortion Detective game, but this is only in the ideas phase. He's still very much working on Limbus Company and will be for around 10 more years. For the completion of the entire game. It's following the Divine Comedy. We're having the Hell section, the Purgatory, and then the Heaven section. We're only at the start of Hell, basically. He also talks about participating in Western conventions, which is interesting. Doesn't say when, but just says that it's something that he would like to do. So let me recap this once more. Somewhere in August, Earl King Heathcliff. Somewhere between August and September, new window UI. Somewhere in September, Walpurgisnacht and Deviat Association. October, we're getting Zwei Association and Canto VII.